One of the things I really find fascinating watching Jujutsu Kaisen blow up over season 1 is how many people immediately made the comparisons of Jujutsu Kaisen and the Naruto franchise. Yuji was suddenly Naruto Uzumaki, Megumi was suddenly Sasuke Uchiha, Gojo was suddenly Kakashi Hatake, Nobara was suddenly Sakura Haruno, which resulted in a shit ton of people hating on the character for every small thing that the character did. Now, the reason why this was so much fun to watch is that there were some people who finished season 1 and expected the series to go the Naruto route as they jumped into the manga. Sure, there might be some tough times ahead, but we'll be sure to smile and we'll get through all these hard times and the ending will be peaceful. However, those people who went from season 1 of the anime and jumped straight to the manga quickly saw the truth that hit them like a sledgehammer to the face. Jujutsu Kaisen is built a lot different than Naruto. The author of Jujutsu Kaisen chooses violence faster than the ending scene of a Game of Thrones season finale. The expression "do not get attached" applies to every character in this world, including the beloved projections that fans have of Yuji, Megumi, Gojo, and Nobara being the new generation Team 7. Nobara is currently fighting for her life, and Gojo's been sealed away and looks to remain being sealed away for a pretty significant amount of time. Yuji, at every turn of the way, has seen his allies being killed off, and Nanami being killed by Mahito right in front of Yuji's face, Nobara literally being left at death's door, and Maki being permanently disfigured, and you also have Todo, who lost his arm, fighting alongside Yuji. The Shibuya Incident Arc was easily one of the darker arcs that we've had in modern day shonen in the last 5 years, and the Culling Game arc is setting things up to be an even darker arc for a series that's running in weekly Shonen Jump. It's actually kind of surprising that Shonen Jump is allowing the author of Jujutsu Kaisen to actually go as far as they're going. Violence will be chosen at each and every option. The Culling Game forces Yuji, a character who knows he has to kill, but he struggles with that reality. It forces Yuji to confront a part of his soul that is inside of each and every one of us. What lines will we cross for those that we love? What lines that we thought were our moral boundaries will we be willing to cross if it means the difference between our lives and the lives of somebody that is a stranger to us, or the life of somebody who's a friend? It's our life versus theirs. It's a dirty reality, and it's a dirty reminder that human beings exist long enough to do a few things: to pass on the genetics to the next generation. That's how people seek out a mate, they get married, they have children, and then they build their legacy. Their children are a part of that legacy. When somebody threatens either of those, a survival switch is flipped, and you do everything possible to actually protect your love, protect your legacy, protect your children, and protect your own survival. However, in the character of Yuji, that switch is a lot harder for him to actually flip. How do you stick to those values that you have when you know you have higher ups that want you killed? How do you handle yourself when the man who vowed to kill you if Sukuna ever took over your body again, Yuta, is no longer nearby because of this Culling Game? Yuji is forced to confront his own mortality, his own moral code on killing, and confront his own demons because of the literal demon that is inside of him. This isn't just a recipe for a ripe conflict. This is a gumbo of a ripe conflict. There's so many different things in there, and by the time everything simmers and it gets cooked, this is going to be one delicious meal to actually finish. And I think that this is part of the reason why the current arc that we're in is going to surpass the Shibuya Incident Arc, because of the fact that it is directly building on the Shibuya Incident Arc, and it is continuously raising the stakes for the main character. And so far, it's putting the main character in a situation where he's having to confront himself, and his potential perception of the world is beginning to shift. That panel where Yuji looked very depressed saying, "I'm gonna have to kill again," that spoke volumes right there. That was the face of a man who had the weight of the world on his shoulders, and it's gonna be very interesting to see Yuji carrying that cross on his back as the events of the actual arc unfold. It's gonna be very interesting to see how Yuji reacts to having to kill utter strangers because of the rules of the game that he's in, knowing that there could be innocent people dragged into this game who weren't able to actually make it out in time. how does Yuji value their lives as well? That's gonna be very important to actually watch something like that, especially if Nobara's killed off before this and Yuji has to kind of hang with that mental psychology and knowing that he couldn't actually save her, and now they're gonna be innocent people inside of this game that he himself might have to actually watch die because he's not gonna be able to get to him in time. Watching him actually struggle with something like that, that's going to do a lot for Yuji's character development right here. This is going to be very good. We have opportunities to see the character fail more than once here, just like how he did in the Shibuya Incident Arc, but now the stakes are even higher because he has a way to actually get Gojo unsealed. So that's going to be very, very interesting to see how something like that actually plays out. Now, another thing is that by forcing Yuji to fight in death battles, we get to yet again see the author put Yuji in a position where he has this strong internal conflict, but most importantly, he has a strong external conflict where they both end up colliding. They play off of one another, and so the external conflict of the Culling Game actually raises the internal conflict that Yuji has with his own internal struggles when it comes to killing, and the end result is that Yuji is left broken down, built back up, but forever changed coming out of this arc. And if he fails in this arc, there is a potential that Yuji's gonna go through a dark downward spiral before eventually picking himself back up. With each and every arc that passes us by, Yuji's eyes have slowly begun to change. They started to lose that light that was in their eyes. It's almost as if that with each finger of Sukuna that Yuji is consuming, the more of himself he's begun to lose. And it's for reasons like this that the Culling Game has the potential to be an even darker situation in this current arc than the Shibuya Incident Arc in its entirety, especially if Yuji is placed in a scenario where he has to kill one of his precious people as a part of the game. This is one of those arcs in the series where the main character is going into the belly of a beast, and there's a chance that the very people that he enters into the belly of the beast with won't be leaving out with them, which makes the victory that he achieves in the end or the failure that he endures, it makes it feel that much more bittersweet once the actual payoff is given to us at the end. So my question for you guys is, what do you think of this current arc? Do you think it has the potential to be even darker than the Shibuya Incident Arc? Let me know down in the comment section below. But as always, guys, if you like anything I had to say, don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, and share. Thank you so much for watching to the end. Have an awesome day, guys.